He was publicly humiliated at an exclusive Martian resort just for wearing a red MAGA cap, mocked and dismissed as a fossil from old Earth. The manager smugly summoned security, utterly unaware that this unassuming guest owned the entire Martian hospitality industry. When the truth emerged, stunned silence and nervous laughter rippled through the crowd. Now all that remained was to see how the wronged visitor would respond. It was midday on Mars, and the Martian Dawn luxury resort shimmered under a massive glass dome dusted with burnt orange sand. Vacationers from every corner of the solar system strolled leisurely through transparent promenades, gazing out at the barren plains below. Everything felt glamorous and calm, until a man in his early 50s, white-skinned, wearing a sharply tailored navy suit and a bright red MAGA cap, stepped into the lobby. His relaxed smile and steady gaze suggested a man who'd seen it all, and bowed to no one. Without fuss, he approached the check-in desk to confirm his reservation. Behind it stood the manager, about 35, lean, with olive-toned skin and neatly combed dark blonde hair, slicked back, as if he were auditioning for a holo ad. His eyes narrowed the second they landed on that red cap. With a sweet but sinister grin, he leaned forward and, in a tone as fake as a plastic cactus, said, "Are you sure this resort suits such, let's say, conservative tastes? We tend to favor more progressive views here." A handful of bystanders in the lobby overheard and turned their heads, some awkwardly shifting their weight, others perking up with that hungry, "I smell drama" look. The guest merely adjusted his cap, as if to say, "Yes, I'm here. Deal with it." The tension thickened like Martian dust in a windstorm. A whisper of discomfort danced through the crowd. Some wanted to see a showdown, others cringed at the blatant hostility. But the guest's unruffled composure left everyone guessing who, exactly, was out of their depth. The chapter ended with that quiet standoff, the manager's smug contempt hanging in the air, and the guest's calm, unwavering gaze, fueling a sense that something explosive might be just around the corner. Sensing blood in the water, the manager decided to press harder. Emboldened by a few snickering onlookers lurking near the pastel lounge chairs, he leaned in, his voice dripping with faux sympathy. "Sir, I'm afraid we can't accommodate you. We cater to a progressive clientele, and that cap of yours is just so retro, wouldn't you agree?" He flashed a grin that could have soured fresh milk. The guest remained outwardly composed, though a spark of witty defiance flickered in his eyes. "You know," he said in a voice as smooth as polished stone, "I came here to enjoy the finest service in the solar system, not to be dragged back into an era of petty insults." The manager's smirk twisted into something harsher, like a guitar string tuned too tight. His tone rose a notch, slicing through the luxury hushed air. "Security!" he barked, slamming a call button with theatrical flair. "Remove this old-fashioned guest. Let him return to his archaic Earth." A towering security guard, muscular arms straining beneath a matte black vest, jaw set like chiseled rock, stepped forward without missing a beat. A ripple of gasps and whispered commentary spread through the crowd. One tourist activated a holographic phone lens, recording every second. Another pair of travelers exchanged incredulous looks, while a few observed the MAGA-hatted man with pity. But nobody intervened. The guest merely arched a brow, not fighting back as the guard seized his elbow. The scene settled into a tense hush, the lobby's polite hum replaced by a crackling sense that something big was about to give, and every witness knew they'd be rewatching this moment for a long time to come. Just as the guard was about to escort the guest toward the airlock, the man in the MAGA cap reached inside his suit jacket and extracted a small, black ID chip. He held it up, letting the artificial light catch the holographic text. "Primary owner of the Martian hospitality industry." The glowing letters practically sang through the silence. For a moment, it felt as if every molecule of air had vanished. Tourists fumbled with their holographic phones, lowering them in shock. Jaws went slack, eyes went wide. The manager froze like a malfunctioning android, while the guard recoiled, his grip melting away as if the guest's arm had just turned to hot plasma. "Pardon me," the guest said quietly, his voice smooth and steady as vacuum-sealed coffee. Adjusting his red cap with the grace of a seasoned performer, he added, "It appears we have a quality control issue. Consider this a little test." The manager blinked rapidly, his bravado fizzling out like a cheap firework in zero-G. The crowd buzzed with nervous laughter and astonished whispers, processing how absurdly the tables had just turned. Some smirked at the cosmic irony, others stifled giddy giggles. Meanwhile, the guests stood there, as calm and unruffled as ever, as if this scenario were just another day at the office. He didn't need to say more. The revelation itself was a thunderclap. In an instant, the scene had flipped from petty bullying to a grand cosmic joke at the manager's expense, and everyone could sense the universe having a good quiet laugh. The manager suddenly looked like a malfunctioning marionette. His shoulders drooped, his face flushed crimson, and his lips trembled as he tried to stammer out an excuse. I didn't know. Please, I thought..." His words stumbled over themselves, landing flat and useless in front of the gathering crowd. The more he tried to explain, the more ridiculous he seemed. Guests began to clap, some grinning as they caught the absurdity of a man who, seconds ago, oozed arrogance, now reduced to a quivering bundle of regret. A few were already streaming the scene live across Martian networks, and viewers tuning in were bombarding the feed with shocked emojis and "Now this is a plot twist" comments. The guest stepped forward, calm as ever, but now with a subtle hint of amusement lighting his eyes. "It appears," he said evenly, "that you may want to reconsider your hiring standards. I'll be sure to inform headquarters about your performance. Let's just say your position is under review." The manager tried to respond, but nothing coherent emerged, just a pitiful twitch of the lips. Onlookers leaned toward each other, whispering, snickering, feeding off the tension dissolving into delicious irony. The security guard, face flushed and jaw tight, attempted to melt back into the crowd, desperately hoping no one would remember his face. As the manager stood there, deflated and speechless, the entire lobby seemed charged with newfound energy, an electric current of vindication and amused satisfaction. It was as if the station itself were smiling, delighted at the swift tumble of a once haughty figure.